The Royal Rumble match, possibly the greatest spectacle in all of sports entertainment. And every year I love making these videos to help explain it to people who may not be familiar with how it works, or maybe they've never watched it before. So this should be a fun little video. Now, if you have seen the Royal Rumble matches in the past, and you're already a pro at this whole thing, then feel free to leave a comment down below, letting me know that I don't need to explain anything to you. But for everyone else, let's get right to it. Okay, so picture this. A squared circle ring surrounded by what looks like a very tall barrier made out of ropes. And this barrier is called the ring apron. It's typically wrapped around the ring 3 times at regular intervals. Now above that, there is also a raised platform, and this is called the announce table, and at S, where the commentators stand to call the action. Then even higher than that are the seats for the audience. At No. One lucky superstar gets to enter the ring by walking down a ramp and through the iconic steel steps. They'll have a few moments to celebrate. But soon enough, another superstar will begin their entrance from the back of the arena. This happens until there are 30 superstars total inside the ring. It may seem like the most logical way to do this would be to just let all 30 superstars enter at the same time and let the chaos ensue. But instead, each person comes in at regular intervals, and the timing is actually pretty important, because each new entrant has to come in when the previous person hasn't been eliminated yet. Once one superstar has been thrown over the top rope, the next person can come in. Now, obviously, things are going to get crazy with 30 men trying to fight for the chance to win a championship. But they won't stay in the ring for long. That's because a superstar can be eliminated in only one way, and that is by being thrown over the top rope and hitting the floor. Any other form of pinfall, submission, or countout means nothing. It doesn't get you disqualified. You can still go out there and brawl, but you have to make sure that your opponent stays in the ring. So once someone is done with an opponent, they have to think about whether they want to throw them over the top rope, or if they want to try, and finish them off first with a submission maneuver or a finishing move. But it's much easier said than done, because the bigger problem is that while you refocused on your opponent, somebody else could come in and steal an elimination from you. For example, you may have 2 guys standing on the apron ready to go over the top at the same time. If one guy thinks he can jump over and eliminate his opponent before the other guy does it for him, well, then the guy whose feet are on the ground gets yanked off the apron, and he's the one who goes over. Oh, and I should mention here that it is a battle royal, which means you can eliminate your opponents however you want. You can push them, pull them, trip them up, use any dirty tactics you want. Speaking of dirty tactics, if you want to eliminate someone, but you're having trouble getting them over the top rope, there is an illegal trick that you can try called the rope trick. This is when 2 superstars work together to hold onto the ropes, and then they yank them tight, so that the third guy hanging on the ropes is suddenly pulled back into the ring. It's illegal, but it works. You might also see a double elimination happen, where 2 superstars grab onto the ropes at the same time. But then both of them are yanked off and they hit the floor together. Sometimes a superstar will try to sneak out and hide under the ropes. But then the referee will reach under there and pull them out and then toss them over. Another popular tactic is to hide under the bottom rope and wait for an unsuspecting opponent to walk over it. When that happens, that person will bounce up and be ready to throw the guy who walked over the top rope. Sometimes you'll see this happen twice in a row, where the second person hides under the rope and the third person walks over, and then they also get bounced up and eliminated. There are also some advantages to being the last man standing, because not only do you get to walk around and soak in the cheers of the crowd, but you also get to pick which championship match you want at WrestleMania. If you're a face, it usually isn't a hard decision, because you probably want to take on the biggest heel in the company. But sometimes a heel might choose to face another heel, if they think that they can get the crowd to cheer them more if they do it. And that's why sometimes ULLC heels band together and try to eliminate the faces before those faces can eliminate them. There's also another advantage to being the last man standing. Usually the winner of the Royal Rumble match ends up winning the championship at WrestleMania, but that's not always the case.
Ow.
The Royal Rumble match was first introduced in 1988, and it was created by the legendary Pat O'Connor. At the time, it was intended to be a way to settle disputes between wrestlers from different brands. It's kind of like the WWE version of the NBA's All-Star Game. But it quickly became a fan favorite, and eventually the main event of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. For many years, the Rumble was only for men, but in 2018, WWE held their first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. Since then, the women have had their own standalone pay-per-view called Evolution, which features a Women's Rumble as its main event. Also, the men and women's Rumbles are now held on the same night. You may be wondering what exactly qualifies a wrestler to be in the Royal Rumble. For example, if there are 30 superstars in the match, does that mean there are 30 spots available? Well, technically speaking, anyone can be added to the Royal Rumble, even if there are already 30 superstars in there. It's because the rosters for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT are always fluid, and there are a lot of people who are injured or taking time off throughout the year. So WWE has to be prepared to fill those slots with new talent. That's why there have been instances where the Royal Rumble has gone past the number 30. The record is 41. And as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the same superstar can be eliminated multiple times, which means that there might be a point in the match where there are fewer than 30 people. But then someone unexpected can come in and make it more difficult. So to sum everything up, here are the key points to remember. 30 superstars enter the ring at timed intervals. A superstar is eliminated by being thrown over the top rope. The last one standing wins and gets a championship match at WrestleMania. If you liked this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this with anyone you think needs it, and hopefully we'll get to see you back here again very soon. Till then, take care.